Welcome back to Roller Coaster. Last time on the Best Coaster of the Year weekly series. You guys voted for the best coaster from 1987, Vortex at Kings Island. You voted for the Aero Custom Looper that I've been on. Had a great first drop, and I'd say there's a chance it's better than the other coasters. I don't know. I know people love the nice non-inverting Schwarzkopfs. They still consider them pretty intense and awesome, especially BMRX. But both of those are really similar rides. They're like zero Schwarzkopf hybrids and do some awesome things. And then there's also Big Boom, which is like kind of I'd say pretty similar to Vortex in that it's got the amazing drop, probably a better drop than Vortex, with more ejector airtime, and also like airtime pops going up, like extreme ejector going up. But it's a much shorter ride, and I probably prefer the intensive versions on Vortex. And the Helix and everything. I mean, but Big Boom was great. It's got the tire brake run, which is awesome. But I'm gonna have to agree that Vortex is probably better on this one. I've always liked Vortex more than the other loopers for whatever reason. I feel like it's one that people tend to love more than the others. So anyway, I'm gonna agree with this one. Let's move on to the best coaster in 1988. You're gonna vote for one of these four coasters as being the best coaster that opened in this year. We've got Bandit at Yomiuri Land. Yomiuri Land is how it's actually pronounced, but that's just a funny way of saying it. That is a Togo terrain mini hyper that should honestly just be a hyper. It's got like a 300-foot height change and goes like 70 miles per hour towards the end of the ride. So I'd call it a hyper, but it's not technically a hyper because the lift hill isn't over 200 feet. Anyway, you can go for that and Raging Wolf Bob's the Din double out and back at Jaga Lake, Jetline at Groenland, the Schwarzkopf Zero Mauer compact Helix machine, Ninja at Six Flags Magic Mountain, the Aero suspended coaster, and that's it. You see over one of those four coasters using that little eye in the top right corner of the video, so you can see that. But the video isn't over yet because we've got some more 1988 coasters that opened this year. So we got the two Avalanche coasters by Mack, or at King's Dominion and at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Pictured there is the one at Blackpool, and my phone's ringing. Crap, it's probably nobody. Really, like it's ringing. Should probably get it. Also, a cliffhanger at Ghost Town in the Sky that existed at this time. It opened at this time. It was actually refurbished. This is the park in North Carolina. It was refurbished in 2020 something, 2000, 2008 or 2009 or something like that. I don't remember exactly what years it were. But it used to be red, and then they repainted it yellow and gave it these awesome new trains. And well, they weren't really awesome because they didn't let the ride open and the park closed, and then it was a sad time. So that's a bummer. But Cliffhanger is a very interesting ride by Hopkins, so that's cool. They made like Desert Storm at Castles and Coasters and Tornado at Adventureland, so that's cool. Also, Orphan Rocker at Scenic World in Australia opened this year. That was a very custom, weird park in Australia. Yes, Orphan Rocker is the name of the coaster, and it's very weird. I can't explain it. You gotta see pictures. It's like this strangely long ride with a really weird layout and trains. It's all custom and just I don't think it ever really opened to the public. So that's interesting. Rolling X Train at Everland opened this year. That was a Aero corkscrew loop screw sort of deal. Two loops, two corkscrews. Also, Shockwave at Six Flags Great America, the first of the three Aero Mega Loopers, similar to Viper and Great American Scream Machine. So that's the first of those. So it was like a big thing of its time. Stand Up at Scar Summerland, which was actually recently demolished at La Ronde because it was now Cobra at La Ronde, but it first opened over in Sweden at Scar Summerland, so that's pretty cool. Also, Wolverine Wildcat at my wonderful home park, or one of my home parks. Cedar Point's closer. I've said that a lot of times, but people always ask. Wolverine Wildcat, Michigan's Adventure. That's another din similar to that of Judge Roy Scream. So, yeah, that's an interesting ride. It kind of builds off of Phoenix at Knoebels, except it's got this weird notch in the middle of it, which makes it very weird and just not a very good ride. Also, Yagiyama Cyclone, the Aero Mine Train, that's kind of like more of a Gemini style ride, I'd say, just not racing and does more interesting things. Yeah, I wouldn't say Gemini is very comparable. Excalibur is a lot more comparable. Yes, that's what I meant to say. it's like a lot like Excalibur, except it only makes right turns. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So it's like Twisted Timbers but Arrow. So see you guys later.